Dreaming that you are falling is one of the most intense and unsettling phenomena in the dream world. Many people wake up with their heart racing, their body trembling, and the sensation that they truly plummeted from somewhere. This type of dream is so universal that it crosses cultures, religions, and generations. But behind such a simple image lies a universe of deep meanings, both psychological and spiritual, and today we are going to calmly dive into each layer of this experience. Psychology sees the dream of falling as a direct reflection of the emotions you try to control or ignore while awake. It is the symbol of instability, the fear of losing something important, the feeling that the ground is disappearing beneath your feet. Many times, this dream appears when we are going through moments of uncertainty, major changes, excessive responsibilities, or accumulated emotional pressure. It is like an internal warning. Something inside you is too heavy, and it's time to look at it. But the spiritual view takes this interpretation to another dimension. In many traditions, falling in the dream world is not synonymous with failure, much less a bad omen. On the contrary, it symbolizes a return to the essential, a call to ground yourself, to reconnect with your own essence. Spiritual falling represents humility, healing, and a process of inner purification. It is as if the universe were saying, "Come down from the excessive control. Stop trying to carry everything alone." And when we unite these two perspectives, the psychological and the spiritual, we begin to understand the true weight of this dream. From a psychological point of view, falling represents losing control of something you consider important. It can be a relationship, a career, a project, your identity, or your own emotional stability. It is a symbol of human fragility. Everyone, at some point in life, feels like they are falling on the inside. And the dream simply translates that sensation into an image. Spiritually, however, falling can be interpreted as surrender. Life sometimes places us in situations that are completely beyond our control. Situations that force us to let go, to accept, to trust. And falling, in this context, does not mean that you are lost. It means you are being called to trust in something greater than your own strength. Most people experience this dream with strong physical intensity. That sudden jolt that wakes us up as if the body were falling. Science calls this a hypnic jerk, a natural reaction of the brain as it deepens into sleep. But on the emotional plane, this spasm also represents something symbolic. It is as if the mind were saying, "Wake up, something needs your attention." It is an alert that comes before emotional collapse, before total exhaustion. And here comes another deep layer. The falling dream often appears when you are trying to maintain too much control over your life. When you try to be strong all the time. When you swallow your feelings, avoid conflicts, hide vulnerabilities, or try to carry the weight of the world alone. The unconscious creates the fall as a silent request for help, a request to slow down, reflect, breathe. Spirituality also speaks about this. In many traditions, falling is seen as a necessary process before ascension, as if it were a rebirth. Before rising, you must release what holds you down. And releasing often feels like falling. It feels like losing something. It feels like collapsing. But in reality, it is a purification process. Freeing yourself from old fears, old beliefs, old behavioral patterns. And it is interesting to notice that in many spiritual accounts, the fall in the dream does not hurt. It frightens, but it does not cause harm. That is because it symbolizes fear, not real damage. It represents everything you are afraid to face but must confront for your life to move forward. Psychologically, dreaming that you are falling can also mean fear of failure. And this fear can come from something very simple, such as a decision to make, or something very deep, such as internal changes, existential crises, or questioning your own worth. This dream arises when you feel you are losing control of your own narrative. It is as if your mind were saying, "You cannot control everything, and that's okay." Curiously, spirituality agrees with this. Many spiritual teachings say that falling is a symbol of surrender, not in the sense of giving up, but in the sense of allowing. Allowing life to flow. Allowing the universe to guide. Allowing yourself to reconnect with what truly matters. Falling removes excess ego, excess resistance, excess rigidity. It opens space for something new to be born. When this dream repeats frequently, It may be showing that you are living in a state of emotional urgency. This may mean anxiety, mental exhaustion, guilt, insecurity, or fear of losing something that gives you stability. The unconscious sends the fall as a warning. There is a part of you asking for help. Spiritually, repeated falls may indicate that you are going through an awakening process, a process that requires old internal structures to collapse so that the new can emerge. It is as if the universe were dismantling what no longer makes sense in your life. And this, in the dream, manifests as falling. It is important to remember that the emotional impact of this dream does not represent real danger. It does not predict tragedies. It does not announce death. It does not attract bad luck. The dream is not trying to scare you. It is trying to show you something. It shows that there is an imbalance between what you feel and what you express, between what you carry and what you allow to happen, between what you control and what you need to release. Many times, the fall reveals your own vulnerability. And recognizing this is not weakness, it is strength. Modern psychology states that vulnerability is the foundation of courage, authenticity, and true emotional connection. Spirituality says vulnerability is an open door to soul transformation. In other words, the fall does not bring you down, it sets you free. And when you allow yourself to look at this dream from that perspective, it stops being frightening and becomes revealing. Because dreaming that you are falling is, deep down, an internal dialogue. It is your mind and your soul trying to communicate, trying to call your attention to something that needs to be seen, understood, or transformed. Maybe you are taking on too many responsibilities. Maybe you are trying to be strong for everyone. Maybe you are ignoring your own emotional health. Maybe you are afraid of change. Maybe you are holding on to something you should let go of. The fall invites you to look at all of this with honesty. And when you wake up from this dream with your heart racing, remember, this is not the end. It is the beginning. It is the start of a process of reconnection, healing, and realignment with your own essence. The fall is just the first step, the step that awakens you, the step that makes you open your eyes to what was being ignored. Because deep down, dreaming that you are falling does not mean you are collapsing. It means you are being called to grow.